time for 3 burning questions with Otis. Three.
Nephew Otis in the house.
And I don't know football. My guy, Otis, in the house. All right, question 1 from Nephew Otis. Lay it on us, Big O.
Nephew Otis here. The weather's heating up, and so are these 3 burning questions. Let's go. Woo! Question 1. I'm hearing whispers the Raiders are listening to offers for Fernando Mendoza. What is the trade package that would make the Raiders say yes?
Does it guarantee a Super Bowl? Because I don't see any trade package that the Raiders would want in exchange for Fernando Mendoza.
Well, I mean,
You're frozen, my guy.
Oh, jeez.
I think that look, if you had Fernando Mendoza and you lined him up as far as a pre-draft grade with Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, he's probably going to be the 4th guy.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, he's probably, from a grade perspective, what I've seen out there, kind of similar to Cam Ward, who got drafted number 1 overall by Tennessee. So the quarterback class next year is going to be really good. So what I would say is it would have to be a team that's got at least 2 first-round picks next year, and maybe a first-round pick in 2028. And so 3 first-round picks, but 2 next year, and maybe a quality starter would be something if I'm the Raiders, now that they've signed Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
And they're not going to win the Super Bowl this year, right? So
Sure.
it's something that you would have to think about, right? I think the Jets and the Browns both have 2 first-round picks next year. So if the Jets gave me 2 first-round picks next year, maybe a first-round pick in 28 and a quality starter and maybe like a 3rd round this year, we're talking.
Okay. Because I mean, if you look at the pieces right now that the Raiders already have, they've got a really good running back in Ashton Jeanty, who was a rookie last year from Boise State. They've got Brock Bowers, who is trending towards being, one of the top tight ends. I mean, he's already right there. So looking at position groups that the Raiders need, they got Max Crosby to come back.
I mean, they got him to come back is kind of a stretch.
Please.
We traded you to the Ravens. Oh, the Ravens canceled the trade because of your medicals. We brought you back.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Max Crosby.
Like, what is a position of need that you could maybe trade Fernando Mendoza for? Could you possibly trade down and get some offensive linemen, get some other pass rushers, get some defensive backs?
Well, I mean, trade down. I mean, yeah, there's the draft class, and nobody knows. We'll know in like 3 years. It doesn't seem like it's as strong. There's some depth. I'd say there's a lot of 2nd and 3rd round picks in this draft. But, you trade down. Whoever you get is going to improve your position group at that whatever position you draft at, because the Raiders suck at a lot of different positions.
Yeah.
So you trade down. You get a first-round pick this year. You get 2 next year. You go for that quarterback next year in what should be a better quarterback class. And then, maybe you get another defensive lineman or offensive lineman, someone to bolster your team for this year. Who knows? And it may be a great idea, or it may be a terrible idea, because we don't know how good or not good Fernando Mendoza is going to be. So who knows? But, I mean, if you're offering a package like that as the Raiders, if I'm a Raiders GM, I gotta listen. I mean, it's worth having a conversation. Unless I am completely sold on Fernando Mendoza is going to be a franchise quarterback, can be one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL, and can lead us to a Super Bowl. Unless you're absolutely convinced of that, if somebody's willing to throw the bank at you,
Yeah.
You got to keep your savings account open.
Well, they got to get him in there for at least a second so Tom Brady can clone him.
He's kind of almost there. But
He does have a clone, Kirk Cousins.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
So they signed Kirk Cousins and then made Fernando Mendoza.
Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza. Yes, that I would agree with more. Yes,
Variants.
yeah.
Real quick.
Sometimes Fernando's a great quarterback. Seems like a great dude. His teammates love him. You see him when something doesn't happen the way he wants it to. He does rip ass on his teammates. He does get pissed. So I know he's a competitor. But, man, sometimes he does his post-game interviews, and I'm like, maybe Russell Wilson is more sincere than I thought.
That was the greatest moment of my life.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to question number 2.
Question 2. I think the most underrated sports movie is American Underdog, the Kurt Warren story. What is your favorite underrated sports movie?
Favorite underrated sports movie?
Dodgeball.
Hey,
It's sports.
it's sports for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
It's on ESPN 8, the Ocho.
Yep.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
For sure.
Yeah.
Favorite underrated sports movie? Okay, so
Underrated.
underrated.
Yeah, so you can't go like The Natural or The Longest Yard.
Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans. You can't do that. Which is,
Okay.
I know where you were going to go.
Because is Friday Night Lights an underrated sports
Yes,
movie?
No, it's not.
No? Okay.
No.
Well, okay, then I will go away from that. Okay, Necessary Roughness.
There you go.
Is that
That's
okay?
what I'm talking. Goldie Hawn.
Yeah.
Goldie Hawn is the head coach. See, you just tried a little bit, and you actually came up with a great answer.
I love Necessary Roughness.
Yeah.
No, but Glory Road. What about that basketball movie?
I never watched it, so I don't know.
Okay, so Glory Road, based on a true story. It's about the Texas Western Miners, now called UTEP, and they are the first college to have an all-black lineup in a national championship game. And they played against Kentucky. I think it's sometime in the 60s or something like that, but it was Don Haskins as the head coach recruits all of these players from all parts of the country. They all come to UTEP, and they have this great season, and they beat Kentucky. And if you listen closely in that movie, when they're announcing the starting lineups for the Kentucky Wildcats, Kentucky has a forward by the name of Pat Riley,
Yeah.
who played against that team in the Natty. So it's just such a good movie, of course, because that time period was a pretty dark time for the United States. So yeah, there are some bad moments in that movie, but to see this team come together, go out and win a national championship, and I think they only played just the black players. Like before the game, head coach Don Haskins met up with all the guys and said, "These are the guys that I'm playing. And it's the 7 or 8 players, and they're the black players." And he said, we're about to make history right now. So I'm riding with these guys. And the other players, very disappointed that they couldn't play in the national championship, but they understood. And for these guys to have that triumphant moment of winning the national championship, and the soundtrack of that movie too, when they win the national championship, makes you a little misty-eyed. So Glory Road, that basketball movie. And they also beat the Arizona Wildcats that year, too. So
Yeah, I mean, Adolph Rupp was the coach of Kentucky, and his team was not integrated, and he was pretty firm on that until after that game.
Yep.
It's kind of like Bear Bryant
Yeah.
after he played USC one year. He's like, yeah, maybe I am for integration. Unnecessary Roughness with Goldie Hawn was such a great answer, and the only thing I could think of is an underrated sports movie, and I love it, and if it's on, I'll watch it wherever it's at. The Replacements with Keanu Reeves. Love it. Gene Hackman is the coach. Yeah, I just love that movie. I think it's really good.
Can I give a real answer?
Sure.
The greatest game ever played
Yeah.
with Shia LaBeouf.
Francis We Met.
Yeah, I like that movie.
Yeah. Underrated golf movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't get talked about as far as golf
No,
movies.
it's set in like 1910 or something.
Yeah.
It's wooden clubs and long socks.
Man, underrated sports movies.
I think we answered it. Don't you think? I mean,
For sure.
or we're just going down the list now.
We're just going to list all the sports
We're going to
movies.
live all the sports movies.
All right, if you guys want to weigh in on this, hit us up at 520-719-1490. All right, let's go to question number 3.
Question 3. My dad got us tickets to the Hawks vs. Knicks series in Atlanta. We're expecting lots of Knicks fans in the crowd. When is it appropriate to fight the opposing team's fans?
When is it appropriate to fight the other team's fans?
Yeah.
When they say something to you personally and they disrespect you.
Really?
Justin's got a hairpin trigger.
Yeah, seriously. Seriously.
Well, I mean, I don't know. If they if someone gets in your face, or
You're a
whatever,
terrible reporter. Let's go.
Well, since you put it that way,
Yeah.
yeah,
Justin's been escorted out of every stadium he's ever entered.
it's never appropriate to get into a fight with someone unless you are defending yourself. In that case, yeah, go for it, man.
Arizona at St. John's, the infamous trip where what was his name? Siddiqui Johnson
I'm the king of New York.
came in late to a team meeting, and then the team bus was leaving after the game, and Coach Miller's like, "Yeah, Siddiqui's not here." He's like, "Leave him. He can stay here as the king of New York." Siddiqui never came back to Tucson. That infamous trip, I went to the game with my brother, our buddy Andy Latak, who's now the legal general counsel of Clutch Sports, and my son Xavier, who was, I don't know, 10 at the time. Some really obnoxious, drunk St. John's fans above us, and we ignored him for most of the game. And then one guy made the mistake of getting in my space, coming down a row and getting in my space, and I grabbed him by the lapel and I threw him 3 rows down. And that's when my brother, my buddy Andy Latak, and Xavier knew that I did have dad strength. So don't get in my space, and we're good. You get in my space and threaten an area where my son is and my family is.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I'm throwing you 3 rows down. And I'm pretty sure a couple people gave me a nice applause for that. But the best part of that was...
God, that's got to feel good.
I mean, it felt fine. I mean, I don't want to get into any kind of interaction like that. But that dude, he needed to be thrown on that day. And then I'm like, what? Come on, let's go. He left the stadium. That's what felt good. It's like, you have shown me enough, sir, that I don't even need to watch the last 5 minutes of this game. I am going to leave the stadium.
This reminds me of Friday when Debo punches Red, and then Red's dad is standing there like, and Debo's like, "You want some of this too, old man? Huh?"
Yeah.
No. And he gets right back in the car and leaves.
So if you think of the aisle, like, I'm the closest to the aisle. My son is next to me, then my brother and Andy. And the best part of that was my 10-year-old son. I'm like, he's always been a stud since the day he was born. But Andy was holding him back because he wanted to get involved. And the words out of Xavier's mouth was, "Hey, he's going after my dad." So Xavier wanted to throw some hands at 10. And I'm like, "Son, love you.
Daddy's got this one.
School is paid for the rest of your life." But yeah, Daddy's got this one. Yeah, that dude. There is a thing that just gets triggered, and that sensation where you're like, you have this strength that you didn't know you had. It's true.
Yeah.
Because that guy was a horseshoe on that day.
What sport has the most fights
Soccer.
in crowds? Soccer.
Oh, in crowds, soccer
Europe,
for
yeah,
sure.
soccer. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not even close.
I wouldn't even say it's in Europe. I would say it's, well, maybe England, but South America, they get into it.
I've been told that if you, like, I go to Colombia pretty much every summer, and it's like they have a local town soccer club.
Mm-hmm.
And we say, hey, let's go to maybe the soccer game. And it's like, you don't understand that it is not a safe space. And, things could get crazy in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, South America. I just think that, and it's funny. I don't know if this just like, I mean, soccer, I'm not putting it down. It's not a slow game. It's continuously moving, but it's like, I guess from a basketball, football perspective, it's not like constant scoring.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't understand what they're trying to do with the ball and like the chess moves, but I guess it's just like, well, in our free time, we're going to either sing or we're going to fight
Yep.
with a beer in our hand.
Yeah, if we're not singing, I'm lighting these flares.
I mean, think about this. Like, I go to a lot of Steelers games at visiting stadiums. I walk in whatever gate that my ticket, is consistent with, right? In soccer games, you not only, as the visiting fan, have to go through a separate entrance, and you can't go through the same entrance as the home fans.
Wow.
But you can't even wear the colors of your team. They have lockers. You got to put it away. So, beyond a doubt, shadow of a doubt, soccer has the most fights.
And they say it just means more in the SEC.
SEC ain't got nothing on Premier League.
I was going to say.
The Brits are nuts about their soccer.
The hooligans, right? Is that what they're called?
All of them, yes.
Hooligans?
Every single one of them. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Coming up next on Spears and Ali. Well,
And if you don't like cussing going to games, don't go to a soccer game in Europe.
Yeah.
In South America,
go
if
to
you don't
one-
know Spanish, you're good.
Well, yeah, same with Europe. If you don't know the language, you're fine.
Yeah. I was watching
But
a
you'll
movie.
hear some colorful ones.
I was
in
watching a
England.
movie last night with Tom Holland and what's his name? Mark Wahlberg. And it's called Chartered or something. I've never seen it before. It was actually pretty enjoyable, but Tom Holland's getting attacked by this Scottish guy who's like a bodyguard. And as he's trying to beat up Tom Holland, he's like, whoa. Seriously, I don't understand anything you're saying.